Yes, we're good now.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Yeah. Like I said, my name's Donovan Gregory. I'm a computer science major. This is actually the last class I need to graduate. Um, Hometown's kind of hard. I was born in Mountain View, Missouri, or I was born in West Plains, but my family lived in Mountain View. But
Hmm.
I spent most of my
Mm, I'm losing your
co.
signal a little bit.
Um, I sat there and was an English major and didn't do math for about 7 years before switching to computer science.
Mm,
So the only experience I've had in the last 8 years is a calculus class.
yeah.
So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's see. So my name is Chandler Owen, and I'm from Bentonville, Arkansas. My major is electrical engineering, and um, I have a family of six, and we like to go boating on the weekends. Um, I love swimming or mountain biking during the summer, and this is my first time taking multivariable calculus online. Um, and yeah, I don't know. That's about it for me.
Alrighty. So going down the list of things we are to do. Next, he wants the oldest person in the group to share their favorite scripture. Gonna take
You
a
got it.
random stab and say that's probably me.
Yeah, I'm 22 now, just last month.
I am 26. I've been going to college for way too long.
Alrighty. What's your
Let's
favorite
see.
scripture?
There it is. My favorite scripture is First Nephi chapter 8, verse 11 and 12. And it came to pass that I did go forth and partake of the fruit thereof. And I beheld that it was the most sweet above all that I had ever before tasted. Yea, and I beheld that the fruit thereof was white to exceed all whiteness that I had ever seen. And as I partook of the fruit thereof, it filled my soul with exceedingly great joy. Wherefore I began to be desirous that my family should partake of it also, for I knew it was desirable above all other fruit. Um, I really love these verses because I'm actually a convert to the church. I joined when I was 16, um, and it just I feel really epitomizes how I felt when I joined the church. I was just filled with that great joy, and I wanted to share it with my family and those around me. So, yep,
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
awesome.
favorite scripture. All
Yeah,
right,
thank you.
yeah. So now we need to open my math lab and work together on the quiz called Week Two Group.
Alrighty.
It has 3 questions, and if we don't manage to get 100% on the quiz, we need to send him our notes. So let's try to get 100% and skip that step.
Yeah.
I just dropped my pen. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hold on. work.
Well, I hope you're better at this than I am.
I'm okay. Alright, so I pulled up week 2 group quiz.
Yep.
Instructions.
Let's see. Number 1. Find parametric equations and a parametric. Negative 1 traces the circle x squared plus y squared equals a squared. Which of the following sets of equations could trace the circle once clockwise? I am not confident. Do you have any thoughts? Are you still there? Nope, you are gone. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Talking to myself there for a little while.
Sorry. Alright. So yeah. So is this what you're seeing?
It's asking about once clockwise and once counterclockwise, following the x squared plus y squared equals a squared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am not entirely sure.
Alright, let's see here. So find parametric equations and a parameter interval for the motion of a particle that starts at 0, negative a, and traces the circle x squared plus y squared equals a squared. So a once clockwise, b once counterclockwise. So which of the following sets of equations could trace the circle once clockwise, starting at 0 to negative a? Okay. X equals cosine t, y equals negative a sine t. 0 to 2 pi is a full circle. And clockwise would be from the top down. Because cosine is the x part of the graph, or let's say for you, if um, my hand is the y-axis and my other hand is the x-axis, and it's going to go to your right for the positive x, that's the cosine wavelength, as it starts there, and then the sine wavelength goes up positive and starts at that axis. So for once clockwise, I would say it's gonna have to start, and it's gonna have to be negative because when cosine is positive, it starts on the x-axis and it goes around counterclockwise. Or for you, that was clockwise, but this one I would say is gonna be either B or C on my quiz for part A.
Let's see, B or C. So that'd be a sine t and a cosine t.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Which of the following sets of equations could trace the circle once clockwise, starting at 0 and negative a? then it says for the x-axis we start at 0, for the y we start at negative a. And so that makes me think that it should be negative. Um,
Okay.
x and y. The y-axis is sine, so it should be negative cos. Wait, let's see. It should be negative sine for the y. So I think it's C.
Okay.
Mm, negative
Two, six, seven, four.
A. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I could see that, I guess.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh, I understood what you were saying. And it would make sense to me that the y is negative since, or actually, maybe not. I don't know.
Because if you did a graph and you just put cosine and sine, then it would be a circle and it would start in the center and it'd go counterclockwise. That's how it naturally moves. So in order to flip that, you have to make it negative and make it flow the other way. Have you seen like a sine graph or a cosine graph?
Yeah.
And the cosine starts on the x-axis and goes up and down. If
Hmm.
you make that negative, then instead of it starting going up, it'd start going down. So um, that's why it makes me think you gotta take the x is 0, so we don't have a problem there. We just need to make sure it's negative, and then the y is already negative, so we need that one to be, that one can be sine negative a sine t, and then it should take care of the rest, and then 0 to 2 pi does the full circle.
So why wouldn't? Okay. No, I think I understand. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Where I'm having trouble is figuring out um, which ones need to be negative. Because if we have them both negative, then yeah, for it to be a circle, you need x, like at the top it says x squared plus y squared equals a squared. Um, if you have x squared positive and then y squared negative, then it's a hyperbola, and it doesn't do a circle. It does a wave like this, where it comes across the middle, and then it goes up, and then on the other side it goes down, and it doesn't do a circle. Um, I'm kind of confused what negative a is. Negative a. Trace a circle once clockwise, starting at 0 for the x and negative a for the y.
How do you know which one is sine and cosine?
So x is cosine and y is sine.
Okay.
So we know for sure um, B and D aren't correct, and so it has to be A and C. Um,
Okay, I'm obviously seeing different ones than you then.
oh, really? Okay, the one that
I think
I'm
for
having,
me it's either C or D, where X
uh,
is cosine and Y is sine,
yeah,
and just which one's negative is the question.
yeah. So I clicked the answer that says x equals negative a cosine t and y equals a sine t.
Say that one more time.
I clicked the answer that says x equals negative a cosine t
Okay.
and y equals a sine t.
I mean, that seems right to me.
Mm, yeah, I think so. Let's look at B. It says which of the following sets of equations could trace the slope once counterclockwise, starting at 0, negative a. Okay, so this one we have x cosine, that's fine, and y.
So would it be that they're both negative on this one?
Um,
Make it go counterclockwise?
on this one, I think x is going to be normal, and y is going to be negative, so that the negative a and the negative sign cancel out and becomes positive. Um, I would say it's going to be, what is it?
But I mean, if we're gonna make the circle properly, it still needs to be cosine for x and sine for y, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that means the only two options we have is a cosine t, a sine t, or negative a cosine t, negative a sine t.
Yeah, we have only negative or only positive.
I think that only negative would make it go counterclockwise.
Um, yeah, both negative. Yeah, that could work. Um, yeah, I'm not
This
super
doesn't feel
sure
like
why.
anything I've done in the homework so far, so I don't
Yeah,
feel as confident as I wish I was.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think you're right. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Negative cosine and negative sine for the x and y. Okay, then we'll go to um, question 2. Convert the Cartesian equation to polar equation that represents r in terms of theta. Okay, so this one, x equals r cosine theta and y equals r sine theta. So for x plus 4 squared, it's going to be um, for, let's see, I need to write it down. Okay, equals x equals r cosine theta, y equals r sine. So if we're going to replace x and r, we're going to get, so we'll get s4 of square root. And then y squared is going to just stay the same. It'll be r sine theta. That away. So would it be get the r's to the other side? Hmm. See, cosine. In terms of theta, so in the end we're going to have r equals, and we're going to have cosine theta plus, okay. Um, what do you think?
Um, yes. Well, actually, I don't know. Um, I mean, I would assume so.
Let's see. Self-report quiz instructions.
I don't see anything that says otherwise.
Okay. Let's see.
I knew the first part is to, you know, factor it out, get it all set up,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I remember correctly, x equals that and y equals that. So
So r equals. Mm. Yeah, so x equals r cosine theta and y equals r sin theta. So we have those squared. Both of those squared. Um, I can't remember what the 16 goes to. So we're gonna change. It's gonna be r cosine theta plus 4 squared. So if we just plug it in directly, this is what we get.
And now I have r squared sine squared theta plus r squared cosine squared theta plus 8r cosine theta. Isn't there a thing about sine squared and cosine squared theta to get rid of them?
Okay. Okay, this is what I've figured out so far. That's just plugging it in directly. So if we take the square root like you said, then we get
Well, you can get rid of 16. All you have to do is start by factoring it out. And so it becomes 8 squared plus
becomes
or x squared plus 8x plus 16 plus y squared equals 16. And you just subtract 16 from both sides.
yeah, you can do it that way. With it set up like this, we can take the squares out and we can do square root over this side and square root over that side, which will
Oh.
make it 4. And then we can do r equals, um, let's see, and then we can divide.
What'd you do with the 4 though on the left side?
4, you would,
The x plus 4 squared?
oh, you're right. I forgot that goes right here. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this would come over, and this would be minus 4. And then since we want to put the r's on that side, we divide the r's out, and then we get cosine theta plus 4 plus sine theta minus 1. Yep. And it looks something like that, because you divide the r's out of it. And goes to the other side.
If you divide the r's out, it'd be 16 over r though.
16 over r. And then you hmm. Huh, interesting. It shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be that hard. Alright, in terms of theta. Okay, we have it in terms of theta.
I'm just trying to remember my trig identities right now. I think I can get rid of the. There it is. I thought so. I think with it being r squared sine squared theta plus r squared cosine squared theta, I can just make that r squared because sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1.
Um, you're right. It is 1.
Means that I am left with 8r squared plus 8r cosine theta equals 0. Then if I subtract 8 cosine 8r cosine theta to the other side and then divide by r, it will then become r equals 8 cosine theta. I think I have it.
R equals 8 cosine theta.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in my answer.
Okay. Let's see. 8 cosine theta.
Do you want me to walk you through what I did?
Let's see. Is this what you have?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yep.
Okay. And then we just add, and then we just do plus sine theta? Because I think
No,
you have to have both.
it's down to
No?
just 8 cosine theta.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. I like it. Alright, let's go to the next question. I have class in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
um, and this is cardioid.
War.
Equals 3 plus 3
Hardwood.
cosine theta. So this one we have 3 flower petals, and then we have 3 radius, right?
Think so?
Alright. And we're gonna do it from the length of the cardioid. So yeah, we're gonna have to do the full thing. We can do like 3 times the integral of what is it? It's like 3 pi to 6 pi. We'll get one of the petals and we just times it by 3 and get all 3 petals. Um, or we can do 0. Let's see. Um, let's see. Let's get all of it. Okay. So if we do it from 0 to 2 pi, we have we just have to plug 2 pi into 3 plus 3 cosine theta, and we should get that number. Or we can plug in pi over 3 minus pi over 6, and then multiply that by 3. It should be the same answer either way. I got the number 24. Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
You're 24?
I got 24.
Okay. I think that's reasonable. You did that much faster than me,
That's okay.
but I'll trust
Um,
you because you need to get going.
yeah, I do.
Right.
Let's see.
Let's see how we did.
Okay.
Oh, we missed one.
Which one?
I don't know. It did
Might have
not tell
been
me.
one of the first ones.
Go to results. Review. Cannot review.
We can
Oh, I
review.
bet we can't review until after it's finished tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll take a peek at it later tonight and see what we need to do to fix that.
Okay. And then we have a week 2 self-report quiz.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
I think that's just a personal thing.
Oh, okay. That's where you answer if you reported to your group meeting and you copy your link. Okay, so you have to send me this chat room link.
Okay.
Okay, that should work.
I will do that. And
Uh,
yeah, all right. I
Okay,
guess
I
do
think
we
I
want to
have the
meet
link.
Tuesday next week or
Um,
or
yeah, we can meet
Thursday?
next week. Yeah.
So Tuesday at 10:15.
Tuesday. Yeah, that should work. Yep.
Okay. I'll talk to you Tuesday then.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thanks, Donovan.
Bye.
Okay, see ya.